Mm. Good morning. It is 10:01 a.m. Monday, March 4th, 2024. We're damn close to quarter two of 2024. Boy, oh boy, what a year it'll be. Well, good morning, everybody. Hope your week is starting out okay wherever you are. Um, was chatting with Hans Christian Swartz. Already started drinking tea, too late for coffee. Well, that's fine. Have your tea. There's time for it's like, oh, what is it? It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. That means you can drink all day, whatever you want: tea, coffee, beer, Clorox. Oh, standards and practices may catch that one. Um, Good morning, Hans Christian Swartz. Hans Christian Swartz. Hans. 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 Hans and Franz here to pump you up. Yeah. How do we proceed? I don't know. I got invited to a Discord called Scroller Busters. It's run by and administrated by Pete Jensen, uh, who I've done a few interviews with. Good morning, Bach Buddy. Good morning, Lorna. 8 a.m. in Oregon, early morning. Hope you got your coffee, whatnot. But from what I remember, you have a hard time sleeping. So maybe you've kind of been sleeping and waking up and sleeping and waking up. Um, I need to go walking and I have very little faith in myself that I will, but I need to. It's also supposed to rain today. It looks rainy. But just walking, I've heard, is the key to life. Um, you want me to relog with my full name? What does that mean? Don't wear it out or I will relog. Oh, she wants you to relog with your full name. Oh, man. Yeah, I joined this server and the general chat just went lightning feed. And it's all kinds of stuff about ex-Scientologists. I kind of felt like the bad guy in the room, you know? Morning, Whitney. Morning, Chad. Comment ça va? Mm. Bon matin. Et la Louisiane and Nouvelle Orleans. I can't address problems with the community. I just got my little bubble here, our little bubble. Um, but I can say that, like, golly, jeepers, goddamn, what the fuck? It's happened over and over again, okay? For years. It just hasn't been one of these hot topics because if it got anywhere close to warm, Osa would just make it go away magically. Morning blues. So I guess the thumbnail that I made, it's all caps. Why did I have to yell? How do we proceed, sir? I don't know. The same way it always has gone. People duck down when there's shit being thrown. There's a whole lot of it. Poo. It's I put the picture, the AI generated picture. Yeah, it's good to see you, Chad, man. It's good to see everybody this morning. I like starting my week like this. It's good. It's like extra group therapy time. We all fucked up. I was up till 3:30. I've been sleeping in weird like split shift kind of hours. I'll take a nap anywhere from 3 to 5, wake up, stay up till 2 to 3, sometimes 4, and get up again at 9:30 or 10, sometimes earlier. Hey, and Christian Fountain. Good morning. It's Monday, 10:08. I feel like there needs to be some kind of lubricant to start the conversation. So, music works good. Are y'all cool with some music? Just a couple songs, maybe a song or two. Let me kind of finish my coffee, take a rip. Some original music. X up. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna probably just do it anyway. If you haven't already, and you like what I do with music, go subscribe on YouTube to the LaFleur Brothers official page. It's me and my brother Travis. We currently have Band of Sinners backing us up, and they're a great band too. I play them a lot on K-Fuck Radio. So check that out. Subscribe if you haven't. I have a new video out from the album in, I wasn't showing my main monitor. Yeah. Here's the LaFleur Brothers page that I just linked. And there's, not a ton, but it's good what's there. So, or at least it passed muster. So I released a new video, and I've already premiered it, but it was recent, in the last couple days. And this is a AI generated video. It's gonna trigger Whitney here. Of a song called "Climb to the Bottom," and the cool thing was I was able to prompt the AI as I went. But it also, what was freaky was that it picked up on what I was saying and started adding stuff that I didn't even, at a point, I didn't even really need to prompt it much. So it's 4 minutes and 20 seconds long. So you know what that means. I got my little one hitter, and we're gonna check this tune out. I'm going to mute my mic. This is Climb to the Bottom, as interpreted by Firelight.ai, with some prompting from me.
Climb to the bottom, last forever. You might think I'm crazy, change like the weather, but it feels so good, it feels so bad. It's all I know, it's all I have. This is this climb. Down to the bottom. This climb to the bottom. No, I don't suffer. No, I don't feel a thing. It's down here at the bottom. It's plenty of shame, and it feels so good. It feels so bad. It's all I know. It's all I have. This is climb. This climb. Climb to the bottom. This climb to the bottom.
Yes, this is impressive, isn't it, Whitney? It took quite a long time. You could only render 8 bars at a time, but I think that's part of why it did a pretty good job. Yeah. Um, yeah, so that song just came from a one-liner my friend said that he said, he had a Google Doc opened and he was just like, "What about a song called this? What about a song called that? And that doesn't seem very useful, but God, like the titles that he comes up with are so inspired that it inspired that whole song. And the concept of climb to the bottom, it did conjure up MC Escher images like climbing up a ladder, but finding, oh, now I'm in some kind of dimension and this is the bottom instead of the top. Is kind of a very much a non-dualist essence to the phrase. Climb to the bottom, the beginning of the end of the beginning. Things just, are forever changing. You get to one place, and now there's another place to go. You arrive at a destination, and there's somewhere else to go. Things constantly change. Things do repeat themselves. So, apparently, in a couple days, Poe on the Go is going to talk about Doug Kramer, and I'm very interested to watch that. I don't know if I'll be able to catch it. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate that, buddy. Oh, Bach Buddy. Pulled over. Good. Pulled over. Not pulled over by a cop, pulled over for safety, I'm assuming. Tickets suck. Right? Is it really, Whitney? Damn. That's considering you work in NAI and IA, IAS. IAS. Oh man. Surprise guest on that talk. Okay. Well, it might be a surprise to me. I don't know. I don't know if y'all know that when he went missing or was reported missing, I was notified pretty early and was trying to locate him, contact him via friends and family members. There wasn't really much, as far as I know, there wasn't anyone in LA that was really, hanging out, checking on him, could check on him. Oh yeah, I guess you're right, Whitney. It's just all beep bloop bleep bop bleep bleep bleep. Yeah. So, speaking of Doug, there's a song I played on a broadcast and I put it on the Fleur Brothers page because it originally, and it's still, I wouldn't say it's 100% done because I haven't recorded it yet in the studio, and there's like a certain point where you have to let go of the song, but up until then it's a lot of iteration. Like I iterated upon the lyrics all the way up until the very final mixes and stuff. So but this one I started writing about Scientology and my experience with it. So this was pre-recorded and we played it on Backflash, and I'm gonna play this. Lyrics are on the screen. I can make it full screen so you can see the lyrics if you're not driving like Bach. And yeah, this is basically a tribute to all that Scientology was. For me, it's an expression of it, at least. It could be worked into as any kind of genre, like most of my music. Next album, we're going to be doing more upbeat stuff. So some of the, it might sound like mismatched content, but we'll do it right. A lot of country and western has upbeat melodies and stuff, but you know, if you listen to the lyrics, it'll really sometimes get you. So there it is, Clear.
Desperate, degraded, ego inflated mind, looking for something, eat up your money and time. See, you can keep your head up without your spine. Make a decision, we'll give you some pockets to mine. And I can't say what keeps us here. No, I can't say what keeps us here.
What's up, Beach?
Say why we're still here. What do I believe? What am I supposed to believe? Got nothing but time. But nothing comes to mind. And one day, someday, it'll all be clear. Well, being together is better than saying goodbye. So look at the people walking all lonely outside. No good to you if I can't see with my own two eyes. Walking in circles, blind leading the blind. Well, what is true? What's true for you? What is real? Did you forget how to feel? You need to eat, beg, borrow, and steal. Well, none of it matters. Your life is just scattered. You bled like a pig and reality shattered. Oh, I can't say keeps us here. I can't say what keeps us here. Can't say us here. What do I believe? What am I supposed to believe? Nothing but time. Nothing comes to mind. One day, someday, it'll all be clear.
No, we're not doing commercial. Nope, not doing that. Okay. So, that's on one of the broadcasts that Doug and I did. In fact, it's probably more than one because he liked to play it multiple times. Once I uploaded, he's like, "I gotta play this song." Um, I'm really curious to hear what Poe has to say about Doug. Um, grief is it takes the rest of your life. I mean, that's my experience when I lose somebody, lose something that valuable, a life. For the rest of my life, I'll be dealing with it. I think that's why people discourage suicide because, that whole thing that doesn't work with people who are suicidal. I don't know why people say this, but, it's very selfish and you'll affect all these people and they'll have to deal with it the rest of it. But it is true. It is true. I'm not saying Doug committed suicide. They have the report available. Um, I I don't exactly know how to feel about public. What's the word? Mm, sentiments that were like aspersions that came from the community of other ex-Scientologists. I don't watch them, so I can't. I did watch a couple of. I watched Trinity's My Friend Doug. I watched that. Um, I watched one of Alex's. I think it was Alex's. um, maybe Kelly Copters. I think I might have watched hers. But um, well, and I watched. I'm saying I didn't watch many, but y'all understand there's a lot now of these channels. So there's no way to keep up, and I don't even try. And if I start becoming, active, this is the thing with Doug and I that started the whole I'm broadcasting about trauma stuff again. It's not Scientology that I really give two shits about. It's the coercive control of that organization that's destructive. Any organization that does what they do shouldn't be a church. And, you know, that means almost every church. So, how do we proceed to abolishing this madness when Scientology is no less guilty than the Catholic Church or the First Church of Latter-day Saints, the FLDS, whatever, First Church of Latter-day Saints, yeah, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, okay, let me catch up on the chat here, because this is a conversation, you know? How do we proceed? How do we proceed? I got an invite. I already said this. I'm repeating myself, but I got an invite to, Pete Jensen's Discord. And I know that there's a lot of people in that Discord that watch the hell out of Doug's stuff. I can just tell. The chatter. And I recognize some of the names too. There's a lot of, I always call it distension. There's a lot of, is that the right word to use even? Let me see. This is one of the things that is a trigger for some people, looking up a word. But I assure you, it is not in Theta to look up a word. It is not alteriz. It is not, anyways, it's okay to look up a word. Yeah. Being enlarged, distended, swollen from internal pressure. There's like some distension, this built up pressure, and it's directed at specific people. So, the thing is like, I've already experienced some environmental manipulation, fair game style. That's why I removed all my videos. That, not all, but most. And when Doug and I started talking, that's what he kept talking about. Where are your videos? Where's your videos? Why did you take them down? They were very helpful. They were very informative. Well, when you're being harassed environmentally, all right? So it's like psyop shit. It's not like direct harassment necessarily, although it can be. When there's an opportunity that presents itself in a person's environment to fair game them, you can quickly make that happen if you're running an op on somebody. And there's terms for all this, If you got an op term that is susceptible to some fair game, then you definitely do not waste time. And there's also there's statistics for it. So, in some form or fashion, I was an op term, opposition terminal to somebody. And, Tim, you're right, man. Then people would just invent new religions. Maybe that's why nothing has been done, because it's like so obvious that people will just come up with new crazy reasons to be psychotic, abusive people. Good afternoon, Lydia von Stretchclaw. Welcome. Been a minute. You're having it's 10:35 Monday, March 4th. I hope your New Year's going good. I don't think I've Well, he's probably been here since New Year, maybe once or twice. 3 times, lady. Hey, didn't see Brian in there. I called Beach out in the middle of the song. Beach! So, yeah, there's just this tension towards, like, Aaron and Mike and probably a bunch of others, but, Aaron and Mike mainly. Um, I don't do this shit just like Doug. This was one of the first things we discussed because he wanted to do some programming. And I'm like, look, dude, I'm not trying to fucking monetize and get all big. Like, because he had, at the time when he first started, he had like 50,000 subscribers or something. That's the channel that got deleted. And he was posting copyrighted content. And I was telling him, dude, like, you need a license for that. And it's not necessarily hard to get, but, you need to be able to at least you need permission whether you're monetized or not. It's a professional courtesy. So, and if you can't get the license, then you just don't play it. And that'll ensure that you won't get strikes, copyright strikes, or claims that can't be resolved. Because sometimes you'll get a notice of a claim, but it'll just mean that they will monetize that video. So even though your channel isn't monetized, they're going to monetize that video if you're using their unlicensed material. So basically, they're willing to forgive that you used it without their permission, but they have the right to monetize the video. So if you ever see commercials on Doug's stuff or even my stuff, it's likely because of that. It's not because we're monetized. I can't even be monetized. My subscriber count keeps going bloop, 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 down, down, down. And I don't consider that a negative thing. I really, like, if people aren't interested, that's fine with me. In fact, if there was 100 or 500 or 1,000 or however many people are in a lot of these chats that I've seen before, like, I don't even know if I could keep up with that. Lydia says, I remember that he has some really good stuff up there, though, before he got dinged. I'm not sure what that means. Are you talking about Doug? No shit, Whitney. I didn't know you had a channel. What kind of bad things are you saying? You talking shit on the AI? I deserve more subs. Well, you get what you deserve, I think. I was talking to another former Scientologist, and we were talking about the things that we were party to, that we were aware of, that were morally wrong, but like that's where we were, and we did it. Or we just betrayed ourselves. That's another thing where you betray your own. You betray yourself for the third dynamic, the group. So there's been a lot of fair game in its many different forms. So there's not just one way to fair game someone. Environmental fair game is, I'll say, pretty effective, because after a while of people just staring at you, looking at you, following you, driving up and down your street, sitting in a car staring at you. Yeah, it's a little fucking annoying. Okay, you're talking about Doug's earlier channel. Yeah. Lydia was talking about Doug's first channel, which grew tremendously. I mean, when we started talking about doing Backflash, him and Aaron weren't that far away. Aaron had almost hit 100K, or he had just hit 100K, and Doug was behind him by about 40K. So, which is amazing to me. It's astounding, really, to have that many subscribers. But he really presented stuff really well, and he covered a wide range of interesting topics. Unfortunately, that first channel, he did not, practice safe. He didn't have safe practices when it came to publishing on YouTube, and that's what ultimately got him taken down. And was he fair gamed on that? Probably. It's 3 strikes that you get. So when he republished the Over the Rainbow documentary, that is whenever he got hit again, and it was from a claimant. I wasn't able to see who the claimant was, but relaxing flute. So yeah, we talked about a lot of the in between of the 2.5 months or whatever we did the Backflash. We would talk about some of the videos that I did. Now the problem, one of the reasons I say how do we proceed? How the fuck do we proceed? All of my old videos are not in sequential order because I pulled them from YouTube, but I didn't delete them because I didn't want to delete all of what I had said. I just wanted to get a break from the fucking environmental fair game. So it's not in order, and it's actually kind of hard now to find it in order, and so it's very hit or miss. I have had it in my mind to sit down and work it out. I mean, this is the very first video. No, that's my first interview with Aaron. I put that last. I feel like it's the least important. Yeah. They're not in any fucking order. The order that it was in originally, I understand now why Doug was so overly frustrated with me, because he was like, man, the order that they were in was perfect because it went through the stages that you went through, And so now I have to go back and try to figure out, what was uploaded when. There's some that have the original dates, and I can refer to them in my archive and figure out what is what. And Christian Fountain. Doug is one of the few that connected the dots that this whole planet is very culty. Yeah. Well, we definitely talked about that. Let's see what y'all are saying here. I read all the words. This is Whitney. I read all the words to all the Scientology legal case complaints, Leah's and the Jane Doe, etc. All the essay words, hate words, etc. in legal filings. Yeah. I'm not surprised there. Yeah. I know they're paying attention. It's kind of satisfying. There's no way they can pull my stuff. It's all US and YouTube complaint. Right on. That's good. I need to look at your channel. Shit. I had no idea you had a channel. Lorna, maybe Aaron turned Doug in. Maybe. He said he's super competitive and envious. He covets. Yeah. We might have some thunder here. Oh, cool. Maybe get a good nap in. Lydia, I said it ages ago when I first found your channel. There were 3 people from Aaron's interviews 5 or 6 years ago who I wondered what had happened to. Liz, Gale, Dylan, and yourself. Yeah. I go back to Aaron's video occasionally because, yeah, there are people, other folks like you, not like you. There's no one like you. What the fuck am I saying? But there were other people concerned or was wondering what happened. Yeah, same year. Okay, I'll throw down some history. Remember, this is all my perspective. And I was going through hell in a handbasket. High conflict divorce, going broke, got cancer, then lost the vehicle, then didn't have a place to live. Not sure what order that happened. I might have lost the place and then lost the vehicle. Yeah, sounds right. Living in a recording studio, occasionally crashing at the old trailer that was abandoned, which is in this frame here. It's just full of junk, basically a storage unit, but a place with a bath and a shower and a kitchen and stuff, so I could stay there sometimes. Just depended on where Cowboy was at the time. And my little chronicles from 2015 to 2020, it's a whole story in itself. So after Aaron's interview, this was before there was Aftermath Foundation. The fans or the supporters of Leah Remini and the Aftermath Facebook group would post GoFundMe's, and it just so happened that I was like pretty fucked up. I wasn't asking for help, but my subscribers were on my behalf. And eventually they contacted me directly and were like, convinced me when I had to go to Jackson to get away from impending domestic terror, that I should do a GoFundMe. So I did, and it started to trickle in, but it was enough, and I'm grateful it was enough for food and stuff. I was trying to get a vehicle so that I could get around, so that I could get medical treatment, because the surgery for the cancer didn't really work. Where the hell am I at here? Oh Lord, Kim, I've got so much shit. And a lot of it is, yeah. It goes back to 2015, I guess. In May of 2015. And as Wesley Willis would say, it was a hell ride. I'm lucky to be sitting here talking about it. So there's a whole bunch. I was going to college for psychology. There's just a whole bunch of stuff in there. I was trying to figure out how fucked am I? How fucked is my brain? What was done? And then I realized it wasn't just Scientology. It was prior experience, early childhood experience, whatever, adverse childhood experiences. Plus, then I, joined a group that was actually nicer to me in many ways than my family was. So go figure with that. how to proceed. Yeah. So, after the interview with Aaron, I did the GoFundMe, which was very humiliating. There's a few videos I talk about that. Humiliation. Deep thoughts with a wog. Now, about that and that word and over here on this side of the pond, who had the voice to say, "Oh, this is we just found out this was a bad word." I didn't know. The only place I encountered that was in a child game and in Scientology. And in Scientology, it didn't seem like that bad of a word, the way that they used it. I mean, it is, but when you're a Scientologist, it's not like that. And the absurdity of and the extremity of it, my channel was called Wog World. And if you go back and watch the interview, that's what Aaron is promoting and talking about Wog World, Wog World. Check out Wog World. But after the GoFundMe was posted on the page, supporters of the aftermath, it took about 5-6 months, and I was like, I was taking buses from New Orleans to Lake Charles, back and forth. Which wasn't a bad ride, honestly. Instead of 3 hours, 5 hours, which is not bad. Only a few stops between New Orleans and Lake Charles. But, when I would arrive wherever I was at, it was like, okay, where the fuck do I stay? So, vagrancy. Homelessness, maybe. Vagrancy, for sure. And a lot of this was brought about by these environmental factors, I believe. If you can control an environment around someone, you can influence, and to some degree, control the person, the individual, or at least assuage them in a direction, get them going in a specific direction to avoid further harm. But I gotta say, the last couple of weekends, and my daughter logs into Discord and is hanging out with her dad and his friends, and we're watching her play Fortnite, and I realize how much I've missed. I realize how broken I still am. And I think about my dad and how he had to live most of his life estranged and alienated from his children. We didn't know him. I never knew him when he was alive, really. I got to know him after he died, if that makes any sense. I had a grapefruit, yes. And someone freaked out in that interview. They were like, I thought you had a ball, and when you started peeling it, my mind melted. Good morning, Care for JC. People just want to support X. Bach Buddy, I've heard of Polywog. Yeah, we used to play that. That was a game Miss Russ taught us how to play. Frog, Log, Polywog. Cynthia, I have a title at my job, Queen of the Wogs. That's a writ of garnishment. It's shortened to Wog. Yeah, I know it's an old racist slur in the UK. You don't hear it much these days. And you see, this is kind of what I'm saying about environmental controls. They're very fucking subtle. Very fucking subtle. The subtle act of Aaron posting shortly after our interview and promoting Wog World. He makes a disclaimer. Not directed at me at all. He's like, I was just made aware this was a very, very bad racial slur and shouldn't be used at all. And we're going to try our hardest not to use this word, whatever, only in certain circumstances, whatever. Believe it or not, that had a sort of a subconscious effect on people. So it didn't help promote what I was doing. It actually kind of suppressed it. Not saying it's intentional, because he probably really did get complaints. And maybe he was trying to let me know that I should consider changing that so that I don't end up getting growth and then a bunch of complaints and become, get canceled or something. Scrolling down here. So when Hubbard was living in England, he was throwing WOG around there. Tim Greenglass. Probably not. Probably not. I can't imagine it. Yeah. So after the interview, I got invited to Clearwater for the wrap party for the season 2 of The Aftermath. And Brenda Turing, who was one of the first 100 people to watch my first video, and then the subsequent videos, she's still my moderator. She still has a moderator title. I met her in person. She was very kind and generous. She's a very kind and generous person. I love her very much. I should probably call her and see how she's doing. But we talked recently, but we just haven't talked this year. She flew down to New Orleans and we drove all the way down to Clearwater for this event. And afterwards, I did a video called The Freak Show. I will not be part of it. And that video kind of explains what I experienced while I was there at the Mecca of Flag. There's a cool kids club. I mean, I'm not in it. I never was. Not even in high school. If I was cooler than the cool kids club, I guess. I was just thinking about selling weed in high school and how illegal as fuck that was, and how I can just sit here and broadcast and talk about it now, and not be in jail. It's fucking crazy. Anyways, I dealt a lot of drugs in high school. And so, while there were people who probably wanted to be my friend, they didn't want to hang around the people I hung around with. Hey, thanks, Whitney. That was Doug's favorite as well. That was the one that he was absolutely 100% adamant that I upload before anything else, and I did before he died. He was like, "You gotta upload that, bro. You gotta upload that shit, man. That shit's fucking real. Come on, bro. Bro. He's so from California." Oh, man. Good morning, Joe. Monday, February 4th, 2024. I don't like the Cool Kids Club. Oh, I gotta scroll up, because I have a feeling I was going to identify with that comment. I don't like the Cool Kids Club because they're stuck up when I was in high school. I like real friends. Me too. And that's why I say, when I look at my subscriber count going down, I'm like, oh, cool. Bye. You probably didn't want to be here to begin with. So, let's keep it real, and it's okay to walk away. Um, let's keep it real though. And yeah, I've rarely been called disingenuous by anyone except for my ex-wife, and it went from zero to crazy from the moment I published my video. So what the hell am I supposed to think about that? Like, it has been almost 10 years. I block it out of my mind. I'm not kidding when I tell you I'm broken. The separation from, not from my ex-wife, but the way that it went with the kids in the 2-year long case while I had cancer and was vagrant and had domestic problems and took on a surrogate daughter who was being perped on, and my nephew was in legal trouble, big felony, grand theft auto, theft of firearms, illegal sale of firearms, and doing methamphetamines and gonna kill himself essentially with the drugs. Very young age, like it was a personal family matter, and for some reason everyone looks at me like, you're the dope head of the family. You can help with another dope head, huh? I feel like I should do a close up for that. You're the dope head of the family. You should know something about this. You can help. Can you help? Yeah, I'm the dope head of the family. Sure. I mean, let's do this. Whenever I was younger and I took a lot of hallucinogens, I saw the therapeutic value in it, even though I couldn't provide the set and setting that I wanted. Man, I ate a lot of mushrooms and took LSD and mescaline. Um, I shouldn't have done it that early in my life, but it maybe saved me from committing some atrocious, horrific act of violence. Um, Johnny Fever of the family, WKRP. Is that a Happy Days reference? Okay. Um, yeah, I know I have some seriously great people here. I love this is the shit. It don't get much better than this in my world. So yeah, the subscriber count going down doesn't bother me at all. And I get real cringe when I see people talking about, be sure to click the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to click the bell, and please donate some money, and so we can get monetized. No, that ain't me. Don't get me wrong. Buy me a Bugatti. For all, yeah, I mean, I need the money. I'm still fucking broke. I'm still broken, and I'm still broke. I have some very special people in my life that love me very much, that make sure that I don't die, and that I can eat, and have a place to sleep, and shower, and shave, and put all of my stuff. And I have love too. I have lots of love. That's where it's at in my mind. And all the problems and the fighting and the conflict and stuff. That whole bumper sticker, give Jesus take the wheel, or give it to God. Yeah, that's however you want to word it. It's like, let the universe sort that crap out, you know, because it will. The truth always comes out one way or the other. has been my observation. Now, sometimes it takes a long time. If you try to force it, it can backfire. But if you just let shit go, let it go, and see what happens, and just, like Alan Watts said, trust in the universe, that whole lecture. Maybe there'll be some relief or an answer or some truth. What am I missing? WKRP. Care for JC. I like smaller chats because people don't attack you if you don't agree with every word you say. Well, yeah, that's annoying, isn't it? That's when you need a moderator. And then it gets even worse because the moderator has to moderate and then the moderated motivate. To use a Scientology word, the overt motivator sequence, something that the whole philosophy of that religion is based on. The overt motivator sequence. When the moderator gets, or when the moderated get when the moderator it's like tongue twister. When someone gets moderated, then they take offense not only to the chat, but the moderation of the chat. And so then they can become more hostile when they're unbanned or unmuted or whatever. But you can have large groups of people that, you know, if it's the right people, that's what I'm saying. If it's the right people, it doesn't matter. It's quality over quantity, you know. You can have 100 people hanging out. This is part of the reason I don't like going out for Mardi Gras. Because those 100 people in your general vicinity, you probably have like wildly different views on what's okay and appropriate around, say, children or even adults. And yeah, things can escalate from that disconnect, or, you know, I'll just call it like a disconnection from, like, you know, these people are so different that it's like one of them is taking notice and is like, this is not okay. You can't be smoking crack in front of my child. And then the other person's like, fuck you, I'm gonna smoke crack. You know? Bach buddy, John Lennon, give peace a chance. That's all we're saying. Everybody talking about the flag and the flag and the flag and the fag and the flag and the fag. All we are saying is give peace a chance. Feels like a lot of things get rehashed over the years. You know, cultural fucking upheavals, divide and conquer, unifying forces. To me, the unificate, like, you know, Martin Luther King was a very unifying figure. John Lennon was a unifying figure. And yeah, unifying figures. A unifying figure, in my mind, can't be someone who is looking to deplatform someone else who is campaigning or speaking against a specific injustice that they are also against and speaking out against. Why would you deplatform someone who shares the same opinion that you do about a very important thing? Now, it doesn't have to be this, like, you don't have to agree on every fucking thing. This is also core, like, philosophy that Doug and I would talk about. For years before we even did broadcast. I talked to Doug for probably a year and a half, on and off, as he was building his channel. He was a busy, busy dude. So, like, a couple phone calls a year for 2 years, and then like then we started actually talking and planning the presentations and stuff. So, that's the deplatforming and the you're bad now. You were good, but now you're bad. And so you should go here and not there. And let's redirect these people to here. And we need your support here now instead of here. Why not just let people support who they want and believe what they want? I don't know. It's 11:12 Monday morning, March the 4th. All right, let's see what we got in the chat here. WKRP, man. Y'all got to tell me what that's from. Joe Spring, Agatha Cathological. Oh, God. I haven't said it in a while. Agatha Cathological, which is a great word. Marcus, I survived getting away from a narcissist with 2 kids, and it was a fucking nightmare. So, I want you to know it gets better. Yeah, it's been getting better. Yeah. The I guess the culprit, offender, abuser, whatever you want to call it, the crazy guy in my life before Hubbard has contracted Alzheimer's and dementia. So it is very dicey for a little while. Now, though, there's a lot of memory loss. So the things that would, trigger him to start, getting upset and trying to manipulate or control people don't even happen anymore. So it's a very safe situation compared to just a couple of years ago. So that's been a big relief. And I spoke with my mother yesterday about how things are going, and it's a lot to process. And things do get better. There have been rapid improvements and then slow over time improvements. Like, sometimes you don't realize until you're out of it, like what you missed out on, what you were missing out on. And sometimes it just takes time to process and just like be a vegetable, under the iron hand of some psychotic, tyrant type person who's got to control everything. There's not a moment that you should be sitting around doing nothing. Beach, I pressed the like button anyway because I danced to my own tune. All right. Lydia Von Stretchclaw, you develop a thicker skin as a mod. Yes, you have to. It's kind of sucky, but it's the truth. And also, being a gamer and being in some very toxic communities that once upon a time, prior to 2012, I'd say, 2000, all the way up to 2009, like it was cool to be toxic in the gaming community. It kind of reached a point where when, a person in EVE Online was told to kill themselves and people were bragging about it at a convention, that, that the whole scene sort of changed for the better. Whitney, the history of Scientology is important in my opinion. It gets weird when people say things that are just patently not true. It's frustrating, but you got to let them go in their confusion, in my opinion. I agree. Like, you know, there is a a never-ending thing. Well, it's not never-ending. Um, never-ending, never-ending message. Or serendipity. I don't know. Never-ending. So Serge and Laura are out, and they're out, just in the streets protesting and letting people know, as obnoxious as some people might feel that it is, what's going on behind that, inside that building. Um, Even if which the LAPD, obviously their hands are tied or something, or hands are full of cash. Either case, um, just letting the community around in LA know, because there's a lot of freshies that arrive in LA every month. Probably even still, I'd say it's a lot less than it used to be, kind of like Nashville. But yeah, there's a lot of people that will show up there, the country bumpkin, looking to make it famous and whatever. Uh, they wouldn't know what the hell Scientology is. Probably, I mean, in these days, probably would have heard something at least, but um, I'd heard very, very little about it when I encountered it. So all I had, and I didn't really do internet. Um, let's see here. Yeah, you gotta let them go in their confusion. So yeah, I here to provide my perspective. Um, and you make what you make of it. I don't have a uh, partnership or anything like that, where I'm obligated to do this every week. I don't have a pay stub or donations specifically from individuals to curate and tell me what to talk about or what not to talk about. I know that exists in a lot of broadcast media, I mean, obviously. Take a look at either major news networks and you'll see, okay, well, they're not allowed to talk about this on this network, but this other network talks about it all the time, and this other network won't even mention it. Lydia von Stretchclaw, it's often the subject we can have 2K and Aaron's chat, and it's all chill. If it's controversial, shit will break out. Yeah. I ain't got no time for that shit. Like, it's way more complicated, usually, than can be explained in a broadcast. I mean, I could sit here and talk to you all fucking day about this shit. Um, That's what the Chronicles kind of were. Agathocakological. I mod for Sean Atwood. We rarely tune anyone out, and he always has thousands of people. See? Like I said, you can have uh, potentially infinitely scalable people and not have any issues. So, yeah. It was you earlier that said you're. Well, let me see. Oh, I'm not gonna. go and pull it up, really. It's just, I'm trying to remember is what it is. Whoa. I'm getting lost in the weeds there. Let me go back to present. Okay. Miss J, hey, ¿cómo se va? Protest everywhere. Nice. I went too far. Damn. All right. So, and I was behind. Y'all are ahead of me. Care for JC YouTube. I really liked Doug because he was real and didn't agree with everyone and didn't care. Yeah, for sure. We didn't agree on things. We're, yeah, our relationship dynamic was more like brothers that respected each other, but respectfully disagreed on certain things. And yeah, I mean, I really, really wanted him to go find somebody to talk to. But you know, he wasn't necessarily wrong when he was like, dude, I'm in LA. There's nobody I can talk to that there wouldn't be some environmental control, at least after a couple of sessions. And that's, I was like, well, get the fuck out of LA. Shit. Why are you still there in Studio City? He was determined to, well, he didn't want to live anyway. That's the truth. He told me that. He didn't want to see what was, he hated the future. He hated it all. He didn't want to see what was going to happen. It was very sad because I think if he'd been able to find some help, someone that he could actually talk to as someone that would have a treatment plan, some kind of recovery or treatment plan, some development of coping skills and shit like that. That would have done. That could have potentially been a life turnaround, because of the smoking, big problem, and not getting up and moving around at all. I had to tell him to get up and go take walks. I had to get on the phone with him and take walks because it wouldn't go if I didn't. It's like, will you come with? Okay, I'll go if you go. We're like on WhatsApp, fucking walking down. Anyways, I have to check out Sean Atwood. Great, WKRP was a great sitcom referenced by Johnny Fever, one of the leads, a drug-using radio DJ. Station was fictional AM rock station in Cincinnati. Okay. WKRP. Okay. That's a lot to mod, Joe. But yeah, if you're doing it, like, I always think like soft moderation. Speak softly and carry a big stick. I got the band hammer right here, ready to go at any time. So be nice or leave. WKRP is not in syndication because the contracts expired for all the music played in the show. Damn. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the interview or whatever y'all were talking about with Andrew Gold. I don't watch Andrew Gold. But I do remember Doug bitching about Andrew Gold to me. Um, mm, clickbait, yeah, clickbait. Hey man, there's you know, it's a thing. Ad revenue. Um, the local government, one California, needs to be A1 audited 100%. I don't know what A1 audited is, but probably, yeah. Um, Whitney, he tilted too sensational for me, so dropped him too. Yeah. See, I feel like um I might be a tryhard in being the antithesis of all of that. Um, but I'm not even really trying. How do we proceed? Um, Blues. I am a George Carlin girl. I do not want to be part of a club that wants me as a member. I rather critically think over here. Oh yeah, George Carlin was fucking amazing. Club. I mean, his bit about clubs. George Carlin has done more quintessential bits, I think, than any other comedian that I can think of. Um, and if you don't know what a quintessential bit is, it's a bit like of comedy that is so like it explores almost every point that could be explored for it to be funny. Uh, and there's nothing left to say about it. Similar to in English, if you say totalestai, you better have explored every research point. Like if it's a research paper, I don't know anyone who's ever written to. Actually, I know one person who wrote totalestai on one of their research papers, and the professor caught it and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to flunk you if you don't actually explore every avenue on this subject because you cannot. It's either that or you take totalestai out. Totalestai, I think, is Latin. It means that is all there is to be said about it. It was used in Greek government and whatnot. Groucho Marx said that comment about no belonging to any club that have him. Groucho Marx said that not belonging to any club that have him. Yeah, okay, that would have him, right? I don't want to be a part of any club that wants me. But hey, there you go. Groucho Marx for the win. Lydia von Stretchclaw. Most people are good. I was saying 99.9%, but sometimes people show up just to stir the pot. Yeah, yeah. Uh, Joe Spring, Agatha Cathological. It always offends me when, oh no, you get offended. Fuck. When people allow other people to decide who they should like or what to do, people need to get some integrity. Does it offend you, or is it just stupid? Like that's just like uh, honest question. I mean that. Like, does it really offend you, or is it just like, why are you being so stupid? Not you, but like, so I guess it's not always a case of why are you being so stupid. It's like that person could be in a situation where they don't feel they have any other option. I could see being offended, yeah, if and when that is the case. Um, Lydia, yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that. Joe, as long as they don't call me when they get in trouble with Leo. I haven't seen Leo in a while. Um, Lorna Huddleston, I quit Aaron in case you didn't notice. No, I don't keep track of your viewing habits. I just see you every Monday here. I don't like his vibe. He stabs people in the back and attacks. He lives controversy. Well, I don't watch him either, so I wouldn't know. I saw his interview on Lex Fridman, and I thought it was a pretty big cop out to say, "Well, I grew up in a cult so many times." Even Lex was like, that's not really a healthy way to cope with the shit you've been through. But um, yeah, there was an interview I did. It's in the Chronicles with Sandrine Litchfield. One of the last times I talked to Aaron, he was, telling me I was on my way to Vegas to go meet a very special person who introduced me to my brother and go visit her friend's family, meet her kids. I hadn't seen her in years. I've been looking for her for years. Um, I was almost convinced she didn't exist or was some kind of like glitch in the matrix to connect me and my brother. But I went to go see her in 2017. Someone was kind enough to pay for that trip. And Sandrine Litchfield had done a GoFundMe. This is pre-aftermath. And she wanted to talk and do an interview. And I talked to Aaron. He's like, "Hey, you going to Vegas? Sandrine Litchfield's over there." Um, I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to her, do a little interview." He's like, "Oh, I wouldn't recommend that." And I was like, "Well, why is that?" And the response was strange to me. And afterwards, we didn't talk much. Um, his response was like, well, she was in ethics a lot, and she's a ethics particle, and she never really got through her auditing, and she never really did well in her auditing. I'm like, why? My jaw was almost hitting the fucking floor. Like, why in the fuck would that matter to me? Why the fuck would that matter to me? So, yeah, that conversation was had while I was in Vegas on the back porch at Daniela's house. And I was like, and I told Daniela about it. I was like, he thinks I shouldn't go talk to her. She's like, well, what do you think you should do? I'm like, I think I should go talk to her. As uncomfortable as it is going to feel now, I'm going to do it. So, he was like, you shouldn't go talk to her. I wouldn't trust anything she says. But he had previously been helping her on GoFundMe to get out, to escape from her. I mean, she grew up at the Fort Harrison Hotel. I wouldn't be surprised if Serge and, well, at least Serge knew her, Sandrine Litchfield. So it's a very awkward interview. And the girl was clearly going through, a very sort of spiritually, internally violent process of leaving Scientology. And her mother was a very OT, um, she was a high level OT, so she wasn't going anywhere. Um, Care for JC, you too. He lived through so much. He certainly did. Um, and Christine Fountain. I have to fight really hard to keep going too. Well, I'll dedicate a song to you before we end off. Um, about that topic. I'm native Californian, and hey, it isn't all LA. Miss J, keep going. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I start my Mondays here. Whitney, I have a line. Don't understand the U.S. laws? Then don't call me when you're arrested. Sorry, not sorry. Mm. Oh, I see. Miss J. Yeah, yeah. Keep going. Um, WKRP with Lonnie Anderson. Now that sounds familiar. Mm. Yeah, y'all take care of yourselves. Yeah, that's hard to do when you leave a fucking group or you get out of a really fucked up relationship and relearn how to take care of yourself. I'm still learning that shit. Um, Sean Atwood grins too much. He sold drugs to kids and has never acted remorseful. Just saying. Tim Greenglass. I sold drugs to a lot of kids too. I was also a kid. You know, when you get emancipated, it sounds great on paper or in the idea or whatever, but you can only work so many hours a week as a minor. So how the fuck else am I supposed to make money? I was literally the kid that sold pizza and you could get what was the code word? It wasn't extra sauce. It was um I need 2 large pizzas and an order of Scooby snacks. Scooby snacks. Y'all got Scooby snacks? Yeah. What you need? A quarter, half, eighth. Um. Oh, I did watch the video HG Tudor did about Doug after he died. I'm not convinced he's a narcissist. Um. 7 words you can't say on television, Buck Buddy. Man, I'm so fucking behind. Jesus, y'all came in and just, ooh, okay. So I'm seeing a lot of hey, I stopped watching Aaron, and yeah, I mean, okay, now I'm caught up. So um, Groucho also said would he stoke it next, and so on. Hmm. Yeah. There's yeah, there's been reformations going on, reforming of groups. You know, I'm for this guy. I'm not for this guy. I'm for this girl. I'm not for this girl. I'm for this person. I'm not for this person. Um, we all have our preferences. I have mine. I am aware that what I say to people may have some, some effect or impact. So I try to keep my preferences to myself. I mean, I don't talk to very many former Scientologists. The ones I do, you know of, and the ones I don't, you know. But um, there's just so much like triage and so little being done. So much triage needed and so little being done. And it's not because it's not available necessarily, it's because people aren't going to triage. What I mean by triage is, getting getting into therapy or talking to somebody, do some cognitive behavioral therapy, um, because the longer you wait on stuff like this, the longer the recovery. Like, at least if you go talk to somebody, you may be able to learn some coping skills to cope with a specific number of whatever traumas you got, so that you're at least more comfortable in your day-to-day life, and handle some, or at least keep anxiety under control, um not go manic or OCD, or in some cases, like, start expecting people to produce, even if that person is yourself. Like, you're, telling yourself, oh, you're not doing enough. Those kind of states of mind can be very disruptive, and you can miss out on opportunities. You know, you can you can cut yourself off from people that you don't want to be cut off from. So the triage aspect of leaving, I feel like, was largely neglected. You don't leave a cult, and I'll say a culture that's coercive. Whether it doesn't matter if it's Scientology or anything else, but we usually talk about Scientology here. So you don't leave Scientology and uh, just pick another religion that doesn't necessarily, and it really probably won't make much more sense to you than Scientology. It may be way less invasive, but I mean, hell, even if you're going to a counselor at a church, yeah, I'd say that's better. But, like, when you're dealing with Scientology, you probably need to talk to somebody after you leave, because there's some really serious. It's all, and it's, I can't say it's this or this or this and give you a numbered list of what you deal with. Steve Hassan can talk about combating cult mind control and all that, but what it really comes down to is, how did it happen to you, and what are the issues that you have? And so that can only be worked out on an individual, one-on-one basis with professionals and people that you trust that are professionals. I like living in Louisiana because there's so little Scientology here that the odds are pretty low that, even if they were an environmental item that could be manipulated by OSA or something, the odds of them cooperating are low. Mm. Yeah, I actually think that, okay, it doesn't make any sense to me. I'll just throw this out there, just random stream of consciousness. It went from a couple of GoFundMe's to the Aftermath Foundation. And then the Aftermath Foundation doesn't have to disclose whatever monies, because of the sensitive nature of the extraction of people from Scientology. Well, it's good that it's good that you're getting people out of Scientology, and it has. It has. But it also, without the accountability there, and taxes being filed this year, I doubt we'll see anything suspicious with their paperwork or anything like that. The aftermath probably is fine. But yeah, it very quickly went from, former members helping former members and having a support group for that to the Aftermath Foundation, which all money went to, and they got to decide on the board who got, who gets help. And usually, yeah, there's what, 30 something, 33% allocation for funds for executive members for, for running the organization. I mean, there's an organization called Save the Tatas based in LA. It's one person, and they make so much money off of just really, really cheap merch because it's a non-profit for breast cancer awareness. And 33% of that, it ends up being less than 1% of the money somehow or another that gets donated to breast cancer research. I put on a festival called FemFest, and it was for raising money for breast cancer. And I found all this out because the organization that I wanted to sponsor was the Ethel Prett Foundation, which 100% of all money goes to people who have breast cancer who have bills they can't pay. But for whatever reason, there was probably a political reason at that time because I was doing marketing for a political candidate, and that was, I guess, known. And Ethel Prett didn't like the idea of another district attorney. So, whatever. What's my point? Where do we go? How do we proceed? Yeah, you also, I don't think it's wise for a foundation to help members who are leaving Scientology to not have a system in place for referrals and prerequisites, really. And the people leaving don't necessarily have to be exposed to because it's very shocking. It would be it could be very traumatic to just take a Scientologist who's a Scientologist and put him in therapy. Therapy might not work for a long time after that. So, but there should be a prerequisite for a minimum amount of therapy, maybe a year. I don't know, just minimum 6 months to a year. I don't know. Exit counseling. Deal with some of those things. Develop some coping skills. But that doesn't happen, or it didn't happen with a board made up of all former Scientologists that had either, converted to Catholicism or something else. So, yeah. What do we got here? Super soldiers doing battles in space. Wow. Wow. I'm lost. Okay. Whitney, raised by a narcissist. It takes about 50 years to figure it out, but the dual sympathetic reset is helping me. Oh, that's good to know. We talked about that the other day. Dual sympathetic reset. That's helping. The EMDR has helped me a bit. It's rocky sometimes, but it totally works and it helps. I'm interested about dual sympathetic resets. And my mother, it took her 50 years as well to get out of that relationship she was in. Um, let's see, Cathological. Tim, indeed, my ex-malignant narcissist is a lieutenant colonel. Imagine the serial killer that would unleash and all legal and applauded. Oh God, jeez, wow. You just painted a really dark picture there. Um, Human beings, this is also Joe Spring, human beings will believe anything under the right conditions, even very intelligent ones. Yes, I learned this the hard way. Um, I'm glad you're out, and Divine Heart Ministries, huh? Oh, it was very small. Ooh, ugh, yikes. Um, Prescott, Arizona? Oh shit. I've been there. I have pictures of myself in Prescott, Arizona, and in Sedona, and in Jerome. Right. Lorna, I agree, Marcus. Exit therapy is really important to get your head straight from being fucked. And here's the reality is that, not everyone does that. Not everyone does that. It's scary. It can be scary. It can be horrific. It can be terrifying. I had to do it in a Scientology way, as they say in Scientology, on a gradient. So I started before the court order, but when we got the court orders, um, I just sort of bit into it. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do this shit. And there was a lot to deal with, and it's like people still have a lot to deal with. And so it's no wonder, like I'm just thinking that if I had not gone to therapy, what kind of shit would I be doing right now? You know, would I be on some crusade? Maybe. Um, but that's not what happened. Um, but it does happen. And the sooner people get into a situation where they can be uh, comfortable with a trusted person that is a licensed therapist, a lot of that stuff will remain unresolved. And so the symptoms of the pathologies that Scientology induced in people over the years, it's still a poison in their body. It's still a poison in their mind. Does this make sense? So it has to be dealt with. We have a mental health crisis. Duh, big surprise. But um, the aspects of Scientology are highly leveraged. They can really penetrate deep down subconsciously. And, it's not the only one that does that, but they just have a special little way of doing it. It's very much very like the military, tear you down, build you back up. But when you leave and you start, breaking the wall down that you built so that you couldn't see yourself, you find that yourself has been buried in a wall like a corpse. And what do you do with your life? Yeah, you need some coping skills. So, I'm going to play for Anne, the single we released in 2021 off of pain and suffering that me and Travis and Rick did during 2020, COVID, 4 hurricanes, and an ice storm. Somehow we made a record that year. With the support of some of y'all and some other patrons. Would love to do another one. But, like I said, I can barely get groceries. So, and an attorney, another update on the damn disability. Like, this keeps going on. An attorney has taken my case, and I have an appointment this month in 2 weeks. I looked at my case. It's like 70% done. And there's an attorney in California who says that they can get it done. So, we shall see. So, title of the song is called Don't Give Up. I wrote it for myself. To remember my kids whenever I was. It's hard to believe. It's hard to imagine being so hungry and like tired and worn out that you're not even like you have. I had a moment where I was like I wasn't even thinking about my kids. It was like, oh shit, I have kids, and it's fucking fucked me up. And I had to remind myself at that point to not give up. And so I wrote this song as a reminder to never give up in general, but for me it was a reminder and a motivating song that was painful for me to write. But nevertheless, like, just like when you go through painful things, like it won't be permanent. Nothing is permanent. I'm just taking too long to do this. All right. Okay. This is the official video. It's not an AI video. Although I did use stock footage. Yeah. Do not give up. It's going to feel hard, but yeah. Just don't. I got hotkeys for this shit now. Check this out. Oh, it's not working. Of course. It's this one. Wrong hotkey. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for coming. Hope you have a great week. And seize the day, carpe diem, and all that. And yeah, try to find something to be grateful for. It's always it always helps me. So, this is Don't Give Up for Ann. Check y'all next time.
Let go of that feeling. I know you lost all hope. Turn your eyes from the ceiling. Head out on the road. I could smell your fear. If you didn't want comfort, I don't know why you're here. She loved that insincere. Let go of that feeling that burns you down inside. And the demons that haunt you, all that pain in your mind, love will come to exercise. Sometimes it's too hard to cry. It's hard as a rock inside.